Hey, what is up, investors? Jason here. So, really good video here because we have Bitcoin getting ready to surpass $50,000, which will be awesome if that does happen. But we are seeing a lot of resistance at that price of 50,000. So, right now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a quick technical analysis, hopefully not too much of a long one. I try to keep your guys' attention here. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at this recent bull run from the point from where I had called this bull run originally, if you guys have been following my videos, and looking at what we're seeing at this moment, and then doing a comparison to the previous bull run and looking at what Bitcoin was doing at that time, back when the first time that Bitcoin had passed $50,000, because it was very interesting and it was a lot more volatile performance back then than it is now. We're seeing Bitcoin be a lot less volatile at these higher prices at around $40,000 to $50,000 than where it was before. Before, it was just kind of like a rocket ship, just go up, and go up, and the volume was just very intense, and it was kind of course, at that time that there was going to be possibly a pretty big sell-off to eventually start following. And now that we have China out of the way, China is gone, we don't have to be worrying about what's going on with there. A lot of that manipulation isn't that big of a deal anymore. So hopefully we're going to see Bitcoin move along here very well. So in this video, just a quick technical analysis, getting to all that stuff. So as we get to it, if you guys don't mind, please do me a huge favor. Please be sure to smash, destroy, annihilate, or gently press that like button. It helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm, helps spread these videos to more people that might find it interesting, and subscribe if you have not already. And if you are interested in being a Patreon, helping support this channel even more, and joining the private Discord where I hang out on, and you guys can communicate to me there. I do have one, link is in the description. Thank you to all the Patreons. Now let's get to it. Now, looking at the price of Bitcoin at the time of making this video on Saturday, August 21st, what we're seeing is that Bitcoin is priced at $49,345 right now. So this is great. We're showing a lot of resistance at Bitcoin around here. What we really need to do is get to the resistance point of $50,000 is what I'm thinking is where it's going to be showing the most resistance. I actually even said that in my last blockchain stock video a few days ago. So we did add this new line here, this $46,000 line for the new support line for Bitcoin, and it is playing off very well. We saw it dip just below it, but what you can see is that it has that support there. So if it drops to the $46,000 mark, it will be able to help pull itself back up, which is great. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see it fall much more below that, because then we can be getting into the previous support line, and then we would make the newest line the new resistance line. So right now we need to be staying above this mark, which we're doing, and this just solidifies that whole bull run that we're on right now, that we've been seeing and we've been tracking. Now, just to try to help interest you guys into subscribing if you have not already, I actually was someone who called the Bitcoin bull run before the media was even really taking any sort of positive information on what was going on with Bitcoin. I made a video on July 24th saying that the Bitcoin bull run is happening, and then I continued with that information, talking about that we're seeing, a Bitcoin bull run. It wasn't until I made a video on July 30th that we started hearing more people actually agree that there was a Bitcoin bull run. And I just kept that information coming in, talking about the whole crypto bull run, the Bitcoin bull run. Everything really started taking off after that point, and I based all that information off of what we had seen here, with keeping track of what is going on with Bitcoin, which is something that I want to make sure that I'm doing on this channel, and that is following these resistance points that we set. I set these resistance points here, but many other people are using these same resistance points as well, and making the support lines as well. So when we do pass these things, we can get a good understanding about where we're going to be staying at and what's going to be happening. So I did draw the new line up here, the new $50,000 line. So we will be tracking what Bitcoin is going to be doing at this price. Now, if it is to go above it, keep in mind that it's going to be very hard to sustain above that new resistance point. It doesn't become a support line until we actually see that there is support there that is proven. So when you see it creep up above those new lines, those new resistance, and come back down. It's not until they can really break out of them and touch that new line that we can actually call it the previous line really a support line. So we're going to go ahead and call this now a support line, because we have seen Bitcoin actually get pretty close to touching the $50,000 mark. So we're going to call this previous resistance line a support line now, just so that way we can better keep track of what is going on. Now, if Bitcoin is to dip down a little bit or much more below this new support line, then we're going to go back to calling it a resistance line, just because we have to. But it looks like we are going to start seeing a lot of support here at this $46,000 point, and hopefully we see Bitcoin staying within this 50,000 and 46,000 point, and then really start breaking out above that $50,000 mark here within the next couple of days. I would really like to see that, but obviously it's all about the positive volume that is going to really make that difference. We need to make sure that we're watching what Bitcoin is doing. It's about it changing hands in the way of buying compared to selling. We need to see more of that buying activity coming in to really be able to say, hey, this is still going on. It's still very bullish right now. And that's how we keep this information more accurate. Now, to pull it back here and keep everybody up to speed with our new resistance line of $50,000, what we had seen in the previous bull run that had happened, that was going on in February when it did pass $50,000, what we saw then was that a lot of new people started coming in and buying Bitcoin at that point, which brought it up. And that might be the same thing that we're going to see again. A lot of buying activity coming in on Bitcoin when it does pass that 50,000, and when it does successfully break above that. I think that we're going to see a lot more buying activity coming in during that time. So do keep that in mind, that if history does repeat itself, that's something that could happen. And like what we saw back then, we saw that to be followed with a lot of selling activity. People taking those gains because it went up so fast, and then it went to that previous resistance line, that new support line that was made there, and then it went back and started that whole trend again, which is what we saw. Now, I will make sure I keep putting these new resistance points and new support lines in as we do see it to trend up. But as you guys can see how this information does keep in play, keeping track of these resistance points and these support lines really do help us understand what direction it is going to be going and how low will it drop to, and then if it does continue that run, where would it go. So that's just to keep you guys all up to speed. I'm not just trying to draw lines here and just say this and this and this. We're also using previous history to help make these claims as well. So with that being said, these next couple of days can be very interesting, because that's going to really help us determine where we're going to be going with this whole bull run. So we're going to be paying close attention to it. I'm going to be paying close attention to it, and I'm sure that all these blockchain miners out there are also going to be paying a lot of attention to it. Now, this video is not a blockchain mining video, just covering the Bitcoin technical analysis here, but I'll be sure I do make a blockchain stock video to follow eventually, but I got some other videos that I want to get to before then. So anyways, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions of this. Where do you see Bitcoin going here in the short term? Where do you see it going by, let's say, by November and December, if you guys don't mind sharing that? And then where do you see Bitcoin going the start of 2022? I'd like to know. So like, share, comment, subscribe. New videos coming out all the time. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video coming very soon.